Many bad movie enthusiasts recognize the 1999 made-for-TV sci-fi action movie The Shepherd, starring C. Thomas Howell and Roddy Piper. The Shepherd, aka Cyber City, was released on Canadian television by Greystone International on satellite network The Space Channel, with production values debatably comparable to American TV sci-fi efforts. Viewers familiar with the earlier films starring C. Thomas Howell as well as those starring Roddy Piper can easily find The Shepherd, or Cyber City, laughably and enjoyably bad. But what drastically fewer bad movie fans know about is the once aired and undistributed sequel, Cybermaster Shepherd 2.
Hello, I'm Russell.
And I'm Braden.
We are from Pepper Dog's Veteran Force. And we are here to talk about the ultra rare
Cybermaster Shepherd 2.
bad sci-fi movie Cybermaster Shepherd 2. And yes, we replay the stab twice almost right in a row. The start of the saga is what?
Okay, Russell here introduced me to what would be the first of this saga.
The Shepherd, that's right, because Shepherd 2, of course, being a sequel.
Yeah, Cyber City. It was about 3 years ago by now, probably.
I started out with a lot of the bad movie geekhood, aside from the obvious Mystery Science Theater. But one of my first bad movie stars that I wanted to look for other movies involving him was Roddy Piper.
Right.
So you look up, you watch They Live, obviously.
How you doing, boys? I didn't know you got recruited.
Yeah.
Torgo really cleaned himself up.
Well, I need to remember his name.
You find Hell Comes to Frogtown, and I discovered the name The Shepherd, or Cyber City, I believe, on a list.
Yeah.
IMDb or something, and ordering a DVD from Amazon or whatever. Anyway, it was called Cyber City. I made this purchase as a Roddy Piper movie. And then me and you viewed the movie in 2014, I believe, the first time.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And that is how we first discovered the enjoyability of 90s action hero star C. Thomas Howell. It's the first film where we started to really enjoy C. Thomas Howell.
Yeah.
Recognize him by name and enjoy his later 90s action and sci-fi movies after his years as an 80s teen heartthrob.
That's right. Pretty much the years that start being cool would probably start around 95 to 96. And then go on.
Or so, yeah.
Because that's when The Sweeper was filmed.
Well, he made a bunch of stuff. He was in a lot of stuff, luckily, in the mid-90s. So, yeah.
So,
there's definitely a bunch of awesome things.
Yeah.
This is how our fanship of C. Thomas Howell got started. And going through the many movies that we do.
Yes.
Haven't me and you been doing at least one thing per week for how many years? Four solid years?
4 years.
I believe. So
Yeah.
trust us, we've seen hundreds of things.
Yeah.
This is The Shepherd, also known as Cyber City.
Yeah, it falls into one of many cyber movies. Because you got Cyber City. You got Cyber Zone.
Oh yeah, that's another element of appeal in going back to a little more primitive days, was just enjoying how many titles came out with the cyber prefix.
Yeah.
Cyber Zone. Let's see, was there something called Cyber Force? I don't remember. I know there's a Cyber Zone and a Cyber Ninja.
Cyber Seeker.
They say in the little historical blurb, it was part of Canadian television originally. It was not an American theatrical release.
Yeah.
But I had it on VHS, and it is an enjoyable movie.
Right.
Some great overacting on the part of Roddy Piper. And just generally great classic 90s effects, bad sets, lame miniatures, borderline crappy CGI, however you want to weigh in on when the CGI, the time period, whatever.
Yeah.
Turned out to be from 1999. When you see it, you think, wow, is this from 92 or 3? But it's TV quality, so yeah.
Yeah. And I kind of figured, you know, we could do with a little more of this, whether it's a early 2000s, late 90s sci-fi oriented thing.
You can really do a little more of, do with a lot more of. So yeah, one of us at some point saw on looking up his acting credits, correct? On IMDb?
Yeah.
I don't remember who, me or you. One of us saw The Shepherd Part 2, or what's it called? Cybermaster Shepherd 2 is the actual name on the title card.
That's what it was
Just
put up
as the next thing in the list of his acting credits.
Yes. And, I mean, I saw that, and I punched it in on the internet just to see if anybody else talked about it, because not a lot of people talked about Cyber City.
To begin with, yeah, there's a couple reviewers, I believe, that talked about it.
There were,
I think, have I seen one or two? Surely I've entered it into YouTube to see who has done a little review on it, yeah.
Yeah, but you punch it in on Google, Cybermaster or Shepherd 2, and there were literally...
Boy, you do not get much, do you?
No, you get barely anything.
Yeah, you hardly know it exists as a movie. I think that IMDb listing was what? I'll let you talk about that part.
One of like two, it counts as two actual people talking about it on the internet, because then you got those bots that crawl and post things. But anyway, the one person on IMDb, the guy that left the review, which is pretty accurate and fairly just.
Oh yeah, that's right. Somebody left a review onto IMDb. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
The other guy was somebody on Reddit that said, "Yeah, I watched it. It sucked." How much info can you glean from that?
Yeah.
But, so I went on the hunt for this thing, and evidently it's really hard to find. They never put it out commercially for release. Like, you can't find it on a box.
It was never put onto VHS or anything?
No VHS, not even a laser disc.
Canadian or American release?
Right. No.
Because remember, number one was released as a tape. Let's see, this is the Region 2.
Yes.
Is that a European DVD?
Yeah, that's a Europe DVD.
It was in English. Okay, well anyway, you got your Shepherd. It was released in Cyber City. I believe that's the American release, Cyber City from New Horizons Home Video.
Yeah.
Number 2 was, what is it?
Completely
undistributed and unreleased.
Like, there's no box art. There's no thumbnail.
It doesn't exist as a DVD, yeah.
Yeah, so you had to find somewhere on the internet that hosted it before even attempting to watch it. So I scoured. I was on this for about a year. Like, I would wait probably anywhere from 3 to 6 months before searching it again. And
6-month increments.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, you eventually
busy man
did in 2016.
Yeah, it was around
2017. You finally found it.
It was 2016. I finally found it.
So what would that equal? Like a 2-year search?
Yes, that would be a 2-year search, which on the internet is pretty much an eternity. It's a long time.
Geologic time, yeah.
So, yes.
Then we were fortunate enough
to
see the film,
to find it, and we were fortunate enough to have somebody else that had it before, because people didn't even, except for those 2 people that reviewed it. How do you know they've even have an archived copy of it?
Yeah, you wonder about other forgotten stuff that we would have totally been able to get into, and enjoy something like that. The only other thing I can think of really is that doggone Horse Ninja.
Yeah.
Where it's something that never got a real distributor and release.
But, yeah, needless to say, I flipped shit. I burnt it.
It's already exciting enough that there is a number 1.
Yes.
And then you find a number 2, and it's this like fairy tale saga. Yeah, I think it's a beautiful tale.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I burned it to have it on an archive basis. I burned it twice to a DVD. I put it in my cloud storage.
Oh, yeah,
And-
digital resemination effort, yeah.
I have it backed up on 2 different hard drives.
Sure.
Just in case one dies, type of thing.
So yeah, we watched it again for this video purposes.
Right.
You pop the DVD in, there's no menu,
No menu, it goes straight. I didn't feel
and
like
there you go.
I didn't feel like making a Mickey.
Well, it's a disc where you pop it in and there's no menu.
Yeah.
The actual enjoyability of the film on its own,
Yes.
setting aside the entire Holy Grail
Right.
fairy tale saga of how hard to find this movie is. Cybermaster Shepherd 2. How do you feel in general about sitting through the movie?
Oh, it was a very enjoyable experience. Like it
Now,
doesn't
not even factoring in the fact that it's a sequel.
right. It doesn't even count like as a movie.
Before we say, "Oh, it was a great sequel to Cyber City the Shepherd," like on its own, would you
Yes.
call it a good watch?
Well, honestly, you don't even need to watch the first one because they dump a third of the first one in the movie for you.
Yes. Well, there's nice recap. I'm not going to blame them for nice recap. You definitely want to.
Yeah.
And but yeah, reused. We'll talk a lot about that here in a minute. Reused footages from other movies and from Cyber City.
Yeah.
And recaps and flashbacks. Oh yeah.
I mean,
Let's see. In terms of plot,
the plot was
dystopian. Let's see. What can we say? Unoriginal dystopian post-apocalyptic sci-fi. You got your Blade Runner elements. There's an underground city. We've had a nuclear annihilation, and 3 cities still exist on the planet with people.
yes.
They never even say the name of the city. Is
No.
it just implied to be Cyber City?
Yeah.
I don't even think they say it in number 2 when Lilith is giving the narration at the beginning. They just say, and our city, or
Our-
the underground.
the underground is what-
Is it just supposed to be called the underground?
That's what she called it.
Alright, well anyway.
The plot line is very straightforward.
It does pick up from the sequel.
Yeah, there's not a lot
When
of
you watch the ending and the climactic ending of the first Shepherd movie.
there's not a lot of branching off. I mean, they do it once or twice, but it's
They definitely let you know what happened in the first movie, by golly.
and
How many times do they replay that one climactic fight scene? 7?
7 times.
When he stabs C. Thomas Howell and C. Thomas Howell shoots him back. 7! Yes!
Good lord.
Wait, is this 8?
This is 7.
7. Rounding it out. Religious symbolism, number of completion. I think we're good.
I think this scene alone accounts for like 7 minutes of the movie. Yes.
But yeah, it follows from from part 1
Right.
pretty
And
well.
They
You establish that the bad guy man, what's his name, Lyndon, is not dead.
he was
On
cybernetically
the front of the
revived.
box with the Terminator-ish thing right here, except erroneously used on the box for the first movie, but that's him in his cybernetically revived
Right.
incarnation as the co-main bad guy for this one.
Right. And
So he is still alive and is still controlling the underground city. That is where the first movie took place.
they did a lot of good jobs with the jargon too, like the scientific concepts being conveyed to the viewer.
Well, yeah, it's not the most original story in the world, but they use science. It counts as a science fiction movie.
Yeah. They and
Who else do you have
uh
in the plot? You got C. Thomas Howell, who is also not dead. Remember, he got stabbed and he runs away.
you got
But then him and his wife, he was fine apparently. They stabbed him,
right.
but he was okay. Because remember, him and the Lilith, the girlfriend lady,
Lilith, yeah.
go to the surface.
Yeah. And
Spoilers! That's
They-
the ending of number 1, is that they now live
they live on the
on the
surface.
surface, or the beginning of number 2.
And
There's
despite
problems involving the city.
Yeah, the city was, I guess, if I remember right, it was overtaken by,
The bad man.
it was overtaken by,
Yeah, who is our other villain character of such great interest as to this movie? You got
Yeah.
the Lyndon, the cybernetically revived man,
the Linden fellow,
and then
Candy.
who? And then
Uh,
you just said it.
Candy.
Yes, who is she?
Candy is.
Who is Candy?
Candy is this dude's wife.
In the VR footage,
Yeah.
who is Candy?
Oh yes, the baby, who is an artificial, not an artificial baby, but like a baby encased in this
What do they call her in the actual plot? An ancient child
ancient child. Yeah, they had to
who was designed and engineered. Let's see, what does it say verbatim? She was designed, she was engineered
and
by those in power from before the nuclear annihilation
yeah,
to be the nerve center of the computer system that controls the nukes
yeah, that makes a
in
lot of sense.
orbit. That's right.
Makes sense.
Anyway, what is? Tell us what the appeal of this Candy.
Okay, well, the major appeal to me was that it was used in another movie,
No way.
another television movie called 2103, A Deadly Wake. So,
No way.
but the major difference is, I mean, in this movie you see the head, you see only its head move. Like they do this weird robotic baby
Yeah,
head
they
movement.
can't use the other shots from 2103 The Deadly Wake because
No.
they involve other characters and other sets.
But
But you get that close up with the bubbles and the yellow lighting, yeah.
But by 2103, they figured out somehow to make the arms and legs move.
to articulate her a little better.
Yeah. So,
Anyway, we love it because it's reused
Yeah.
from another movie.
Right.
It's, let's see, have we already mentioned that this is Roger Corman?
Oh, no, we
executive
haven't.
Produced.
this is gold because usually you hear
It's got Roger Corman's name attached to it, is how most people in these bad movie circles
you hear
can
about
appreciate
you hear about him.
the legendary Roger Corman. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's got it all.
It makes perfect sense that there's tons and tons of earlier footage and footages from other movies
Yes.
reused and reused and reused. It's awesome. It's the Roger Cormanism, I believe we said a while ago.
The true Corman way is to just reuse everything.
So anyway, those are our main characters.
And
Pace-wise, what can we say pace-wise for the story?
oh
It drags. There's funny bits and there's a little bit of sci-fi action bits with the neat jargon and the
Like-
system overload.
Yeah,
and
there's-
the religious themes and the anti-establishment themes.
There's-
But as far as scenes and pacing, there are lots of long pauses and dialogue and
yeah,
boring. What's it called? Padding
yeah they
that
could,
can definitely have been cut out.
yeah.
The technical aspects, production values.
It would be.
Quickly summarized.
It would
Bad science fiction.
It would be okay if it was the early 90s.
Just as far as cutting edge. Yeah, it's not
Right.
exactly cutting edge. This
Not
is 1999.
like they,
So yeah, the look of it is a cheaper, a TV movie, low budget, which
They,
to me is all the better.
Yeah,
I'm
they,
gonna like the movie the more because of that. A couple of crap CG shots that they keep reusing involving satellites with nukes.
Yes, we got those. We got chintzy blue screening. Almost.
Oh yeah, wonderful blue screen for the VR world backgrounds. Yeah,
Pretty much. Yeah. Like even the blue screening would count as like a late 80s, early 90s level thing. Back when they kind of perfected the art of green blue screen.
slap a background. A lot of
So-
it is for the religious imagery
Yeah.
and the Catholicism. A lot of it is supposed to be stained glass windows.
Right.
The two praying angel figures or whatever they are,
Uh,
and the Saint Stephen thing where he's shot up with a bunch of arrows.
There was a
stained glass windows from a church.
there was a lot of car reusage, like
Oh, talking about the reused footages? Yeah,
Yeah.
what are some of those? We talked about the baby in the tank. Yeah, all the go-karts Or no, the little. It would be a go-kart with a frame on top, a body on top of it.
The future cars.
Trapezoidal cars.
There was plenty of surveillance footage reusage when he's looking out the window, and the same exact clip plays like that about 3 times. If I
City
remember right.
shots, yeah. There's all kinds of reused background shots of just
And
the city.
the flyover shot was reused quite a bit.
Oh yeah, the hole in the cave. Anyway, yeah, a lot of great reused footages, and that to me is another just total winning element for me.
Yes.
Is repetition. Let's see, what are the sets, and how can we say
Let's see.
awesomely crappy? I
Well-
love it. I love it. Cheap sets. Cheap sets. Cheap sets.
Yeah.
The
I mean-
villains AI room with all the
Oh my
the
god.
big computer banks and the blinking sirens and the pointless blinking lights, and yeah,
I mean,
his whole apparatus where he's the cyborg man and he doesn't move except in a swiveling chair. And they got that fake. Remember, they built a second baby tank
yes.
for this.
Yeah.
It moves even less than the one from the movie that they reused.
Yeah, and I think if I remember right, the lighting was a little different from that one too.
Very different.
But-
The one is like yellow, and the other one's way back in the back with nothing but black behind it or something.
Yeah, but the tent,
Let's see, we already
was a
talked about the
favorite.
blue screens. Oh yeah, the lean-to and the tarps.
Yeah,
Except it's not really a lean-to because they have the couple of concrete forms, the walls from
oh yeah,
the foundation of a building,
maybe the only concrete blocks they could salvage.
with a bunch of equipment and things that they somehow procured. They have pots and pans.
Yeah,
in
how does
their
that work?
Topside tarp foundation tent building. They found a group of candles that they can use. They light up candles up there. They have fresh water somehow.
Despite being by the sea on a beach.
Yeah, they, let's see, what's the other thing? Oh yeah, a cable spool. A big construction spool that cable comes on for a table.
Now see,
Like
that
a
was
bachelor pad or something.
that's pretty accurate because I've seen that used in
It wasn't lying around. It could be petrified wood, whatever.
yeah.
Sound
Yeah,
design, shall
there
we
was
call it.
I mean, it was adequate for the most part. There was some missing jacking in noises, like
Yeah, that was a beloved thing from the first one, I believe. Was
yeah,
when they put the VR glasses on with the false memories or whatever, and you get that classic.
but yeah, it was sorely missing in this one. There may have been one time.
Like two at the wrong time. Yeah, instead of during the glasses being put on, they delayed it to the beginning of the transmission. They messed it up.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, in the real world, general
right.
usage of the what do you call it? Budget Canadian TV.
Mm-hmm.
What was it for? Like basically the equivalent of the Sci-Fi Channel in America.
Yeah.
It's called the Space Channel.
Yeah, the Space Channels, but I mean,
Well, whatever the FCC regulations for Canada, because it shows boobies, doesn't it?
yeah, but
Yeah, there's strippers. There's no profanity, but there's naked. There's naked strippers in it a couple times.
yeah.
Anyway, as far as what budget they had available to them,
They made an okay usage of the budget. Most of the money probably went to the actors.
where'd most of the money come from?
Oh, that
Did we conjecture or learn actually?
that probably a good percentage, if not the entire budget, came from the Canada Film or Video Production credit.
Oh, yes, I forgot. We have to point that out.
Yes.
It's called the Canadian or Canada. No, it's Canadian.
Yeah.
Canadian Film or Video Production Tax Credit.
Or video.
Yeah, the "or" in there is key. Incidentally, it doesn't say teleplay on the credits. What's the writer's?
Oh yes. It's,
Nelu Giran
yeah.
is the name of the writer, and it says screenplay by instead
Screenplay.
of teleplay by. Whether or not they just, say that in Canada, I don't know. If it was planned for some kind of
Either that.
theater release in
Yeah.
Canada, we don't know. Whatever, it just says screenplay instead of tele. Script-wise, what would you say? I love the bits with the science jargon. 'cause
Oh, yeah,
it's a
that-
perfect balance of a few things that are actually phrased well.
Those are the
with
high points.
Stuff that doesn't sound embarrassingly and laughingly bad as far as Yes, they tried to make up some scientific jargon that sounds stupid.
Yeah.
There is plenty of that when
Yeah.
they're doing like the computer voice with the transmissions.
Yeah, there was.
Processing. What are some of the dumb ones? When she loses control, when they hack the system and the baby loses control.
What?
I'm afraid I won't be able to maintain the, what is it, scenario adapter.
Yeah.
The phrasings are very stupid and are obviously forced and contrived to sound scientific.
Yes.
There's ones that don't, though.
Yeah.
What are some of the funny ones? I forgot.
Processing. Stimulation level increasing. Organic fallout imminent.
That's one of the couple actual funny parts in the script.
Organic
The
fallout
bad guy.
imminent. Organic fallout imminent. Yeah.
He's watching, what's the context? He's watching strippers in his VR
The
viewer, and then it says...
The VR doubled up, and so he, of course, is getting
it
excited
says,
faster. It was probably the most clever line in the entire movie.
Yeah, what is the other funny? I forgot. What was the other one that's actually legitimately funny? There was like one other one.
Let's
Oh
see.
yeah.
You're having a baby?
Isn't it obvious?
Breathe. Just breathe and relax.
Is this what they teach you in shepherd school?
But I mean, to me, it's a nice mix of just bad and like the feel.
Mm-hmm.
You get bad, but it's not annoyingly bad or frustratingly bad.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what
not.
I mean? It's the perfect
You're
what
not-
I call a tooth sink.
You're not.
That you can sink your teeth into it and enjoy the bad.
Yeah, you're not watching it like this. You're not watching it like.
Like, what the heck? Why are you? Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no. It's still a happy experience.
Yeah. Instead, you're probably watching it more like this.
It's not going to add to a stomach ulcer when you're frustrated about the plot or frustrated about how dumb something sounds.
Yeah.
Breathe. Everything will be all right.
And pretty much what I would consider like the total package.
Yeah. So.
So yeah, we have this great saga of the ultra rare, the Grail. I call it a Grail.
Yeah.
For me, it is a holy grail item in bad science fiction movies.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful story. Perfect fairy tale saga of being hard to find and enjoyable on its own.
Yeah.
Even separate from the first movie that it's a sequel to Shepard Part 1 Cyber City.
Into
Cybermaster Shepard 2. Awesome, awesome movie.
this movie was televised at around the same time as The Matrix. You know, it was.
Oh, yes,
televised-
1999, yeah.
Yeah, it was before. It was before this long streak of more cyber movies. So kind of a trailblazer. It comes in between, but they clearly borrowed a few things.
Oh, well, yeah, that's kind of a point of debate. Do you think they knew about the talk in Hollywood of The Matrix being made at the time? Because there are Matrixy elements. There's the dark green, there's the black and green
Yeah,
color, and what was the other thing? Oh yeah, for the scene that they repeat 7 different
Yeah.
times where he stabs him.
very prominent
You can see some scrolling computer.
scrolling computer text.
What's it called? Code script or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Yeah.
Plenty of that in the movie.
Yeah, that is awesome.
No, it was a good thing they didn't go with reality questioning, because then it could have been, construed as a ripoff. They knew where to draw.
Oh, you mean the transcendentalism? Yeah.
Yeah, they knew where to draw the line.
Well, that's what I say. We don't know. We don't know that they were abreast of the Matrix
Yeah.
at all at the time.
Maybe it was just like the whole sci-fi consciousness.
It's how this was pitched. This was put on VHS tape, program content 1999, because that's the title card on the front of the box.
Yeah.
Before the Matrix, there was ... Cyber City.
Right.
So that's at least how they sold it.
Okay.
Which, and for me, of course, in my years spent, how shall we say, wary of technology, I am not 100% behind any kind of thrust toward digitization and what's it called? Augmented reality.
Yeah.
I've always been wary of computers and that whole thing of AI and the internet. and how it used to be a catchphrase for me when I would actually have something cool happen or get something cool from internet. What is it? Oh yeah, for once the internet did a good job.
Yeah.
So yeah, add an internet. Good job, fellas, because without the internet we would not have seen it.
Yeah. Usually it's said with a sarcastic undertone, but this time we
Well, I say, yeah.
generally we
Whatever it would be, like
So.
like buying something rare off of eBay or something.
yeah we
But,
gotta think.
Toast, what's their names? Yes, the man who taped it off of TV,
Yeah.
if that's what he did. Whatever happened with that whole thing.
Yeah.
The guy taped it on his VCR, you think?
Yeah, we gotta think the guy that taped it, and maybe the same guy that digitized it, or maybe not.
Yeah, anybody who helped us get a hold of it,
Yes.
we salute you.
Yeah.
Cybermaster Shepherd 2.
You made a few Americans very happy. Congratulations.